Hello, listeners. Do you remember the Suez Canal obstruction a few days ago? It occurred in the Suez Canal, which is one of the two world's important canals. It causes a lot of economic damages. This is the Suez Canal, connecting the Mediterranean with the Red Sea. So, you guys know which is the other large canal? It's the Panama Canal between the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. Today, I'd like to briefly introduce the history of the Panama Canal. Before the construction, every ship who wants to get beyond America had to pass through the Great Passage. But it takes too many times and also too dangerous. So in 1880, French diplomat Ferdinand de Lesseps, who also managed the Suez Canal, tried to construct a canal in Panama. This. But in 19th century, they didn't know that mosquitoes carried malaria, and they believed that ants carried it. So workers sprayed water everywhere to get rid of ants, and it made spores. And more than 22,000 workers had died from malaria. Construction had been suspended in 1889. Years later, America took over the Panama Canal from France in 92. Well, from the US point of view, the canal was much better than the Great Passage for moving between east and west of America with the ship. In 1903, US tried to lease the 10-kilometer ranges of land from the canal construction area for 99 years. Offered Colombia $10 million and $250,000 in a year, but Colombia didn't ratify it. Then America changed tactics. They started to support Panama separatists. Finally, on November 2nd, 1903, the Panama Rebellion had occurred under U.S. military support. And next day, November 3rd, the separatists declared the independence of the Republic of Panama. 3 years later, on November 6th, America approved the Republic of Panama, and a new country had established within only 5 days. After this, America leased the land for an indefinite period and started constructing in 1904. They eradicated all of the mosquitoes to preventing malaria and designed a way to lift the ship up to the mountain. Let's see how it works in real. And construction had ended in 1914. But after this, US took all of the incomes from the canal. Objecting to this, a demonstration took place in Panama, 1964, and during the crackdown, 20 Panamanians and 3 to 5 US soldiers had killed. Upon this, in 1977, Jimmy Carter of the United States signed a treaty to hand over ownership of the remaining land to Panama, but excluding management permission of the canal. And in 1999, US handed over the control of Panama Canal to Panama. The canal was completely transferred to Panama. Even now, 40 container ships pass through the canal each day, and after all, Panama actually exists because of this one canal. And incidentally, Panama abolished their army in 1994. The decision was made because if anyone tried to invade Panama, it was clear that the United States would come running and fight instead of Panama. US wants no one will disrupt to use the canal because it is so important for US Navy force. And this is all for today. Thank you for listening to my presentation.